Hi, everyone. I'm Mark Freestead with today's Daily Hope, which comes out of the book of Daniel, chapter 6, verses 26 and 27. What's happened here is Daniel has been in the lion's den, and as you know, God saved him and protected him from destruction at the mouths of the lions, and the king Darius goes and sees that he's still alive and is in awe of what God has done. This is what Darius says: I issue a decree that in every part of my kingdom people must fear and reverence the God of Daniel. Here's his reason. For he is the living God, and he endures forever. His kingdom will not be destroyed. His dominion will never end. I mean, imagine a king saying this. It's really putting him in his place. He rescues and he saves. He performs signs and wonders in the heavens and on the earth. He has rescued Daniel from the power of the lions. In theology, we talk about God's attributes, one category being the communicable attributes. That sounds like a disease, doesn't it? But communicable means that it can be passed on from one to another. So God's communicable attributes are the things that we can receive from him and we can emulate, we can give back. We can love other people, we can be patient, we can be kind, all these fruits of the Spirit. God shows mercy, we can show mercy. Those are communicable. But then there are things about God that we cannot possibly imitate. And those are the incommunicable attributes, like omniscience, knowing everything, omnipotence, having all the power, the mightiness, the greatness, the supernatural abilities of God that we don't have and we will never have, we will never approach. That's the incommunicable nature of God. You think of the story in the Old Testament where Moses is in the presence of God in the burning bush. And what does Moses do? At God's command, he removes his sandals because he is standing on holy ground. Or the disciples are in the boat with Jesus and Jesus calms the storm and the disciples go, oh my goodness, this really is the Son of God. And they bow down and they worship him. So there are times when God gets elevated to this status that we say, as great as the communicable attributes are, there are things about God that we cannot approach, and the proper response is worship, which is what Darius approaches here when he says he's the living God, he endures forever, kingdom will not be destroyed, his dominion will never end. He's recognizing who God really is. We have to be really careful the longer we're around the church and around church things that God doesn't just become an ordinary kind of pedestrian God, just kind of like one of us, because that actually reduces Jesus. It reduces Jesus to a guy who came and taught a bunch of useful things, the golden rule, oh yeah, we like that. The Sermon on the Mount, yeah, we really like that. He taught us kindness and love and charity and compassion. But it reduces Jesus from being a mighty God with all these incommunicable attributes that you and I will never have. And when we reduce God in that way, then the best we can do is Christian lifestyle instead of Christian followership, which is what the Bible really calls us to do. You don't want to believe in a historical God who lived at one time, was active, but then that's kind of all in the past. You want to believe in an active God, an alive God, a God who still wants to work his mighty power. You want to be blown away when you think about God in the way that Darius is blown away here. And that is today's Daily Hope.